Hey, this is Chip, Soft Wash Solutions. I want to talk a little bit this morning about electrical. It's the biggest problem I think that a lot of guys have. I've built several trailers. I've learned a lot of lessons on things to use and not to use. So, for all you new guys out there, I'm just going to show you a few basic things that's going to save you a whole lot of headaches. When it comes to doing your connections, number one, the biggest problem people have is they undersize the wire. In your trailers and on your pumps, I would not use anything less than probably 12 gauge wire, maybe even 10 gauge. I wouldn't use anything smaller than that. If you're running feeds to your pumps, to your motors, to your reels, I would use probably 8 gauge at minimum and maybe even 6 gauge, especially definitely 6 gauge if you're running the leg off your battery. I've got 3 batteries that run mine, so 6 gauge wire. So don't undersize the wire. That's going to be your first problem that everybody uses. Second problem is that you want to use these little wire terminals. These things are cheap. They don't work well. They're going to cause you a lot of problems. Get rid of them. If you want to use lugs, use a good heavy copper lug and then solder it in the right way. I use these on all my connections. This is what you want, a good heavy duty lug. And when you're splicing wires, I like these. They've got the little solder in the middle. You put them on, then you can shrink them down. They're watertight. Then I'll cover it with a good piece of heat shrink tubing. And I get the heavy duty. It's got the adhesive in it. Use a good heavy duty heat shrink tube. Those are just some basic common problems. The thing about your power washing trailer is the SH fumes are going to cause you a whole lot of headaches. Anywhere it can get in to a connection, it's going to cause you problems. If you're still using these blade style fuses, I would change those and get rid of those as well. Number one, I never have the right fuse with me, but number two, they get corrosion in them. You can put some dielectric grease in them if you want, but I just hate them. I use these circuit breakers, and you can get them in different amps, different ratings. They're just a little trigger on here when they pop, and you can easily reset them. You don't have to worry about trying to find a fuse or replace them. I put dielectric grease on the terminals just to slow down any corrosion. When I'm making my connections, I try not to make any splice connections. If I can eliminate them, I will. And I use these. These are just a couple style terminal blocks that I use. Again, I'll use good ring terminals, heavy duty copper lugs. But if I can use something like this and just make my connections better rather than just twisting wires together, because it's going to cause you a problem. And then I even go one step further. You can get different size weatherproof boxes. And then I put these inside boxes. Most of them have a gasket that goes around the lid. These are for weather tight, but they're also going to keep the SH fumes out of it. I'm telling you, the biggest thing that you're going to run into is your SH fumes. You're going to have leaks. You're going to have hoses pop. You're going to have all kinds of things go on if you're in an enclosed trailer. And the SH is going to ruin a lot of things. The more you can protect electrical, the better off you're going to be. Also, if you're using these type plugs on your pumps, I would cut these off and I would get rid of them. As your pumps draw heat, these things are going to start melting. They're going to get loose. They're going to cause you more problems. So the first thing I do is I cut these off and I do away with them. These are just some basics 101s on the electrical. It's probably going to be one of the biggest headaches in an enclosed trailer. If you don't do it right the first time, you're going to fight. Your pumps are not going to run right. You're going to melt wires. So do it right the first time.